Hi, Real Life Church. It's Pastor Jim, and I'm speaking to you from outside today because we're talking about what it looks like to reopen the church. As you know, we've been using the language of reopening society, reopening the world, and reopening the church. The truth is, the church has never been closed. You're the church, and in the ways that you've cared for the community around you and reached out to people in need in this season, you've shown that the church is never closed. And I'm thankful for that, and I'm proud of you for doing that. But we do want to talk about what it will look like to one day get together and worship together in our facilities on Valley Center. What we need to do is think through a phased implementation. The board, the staff, and I have been talking about what it would mean to be cautious, wise, and responsible while headed back towards gathering together again for worship. We've come up with a phased implementation that I want to share with you today that'll walk you through a little of how we think it's going to look. We don't have dates for all of this yet, but we have been thinking through the process. Phase one is the online worship that we've already been doing. During this season of being away from one another, we began producing high quality daily online video content that involves worship, that involves inspirational material, educational material, and sometimes just fun. We're going to keep doing that even as we return to public life. We see the value in holding on to that, and so we're going to keep producing that. And if ever you are not feeling well, or if you're in a vulnerable or protected category and don't think you should be in public back even when people are returning back to public life, or if you're just not confident about being back in public yet, we want to encourage you to keep worshiping with us online. That's a perfectly good way to be the church together. So we'll keep producing video content Sundays and other days, and hope that you'll keep utilizing that. Phase two will be gathering together in smaller groups, in homes, in backyards, in cul-de-sacs, for worship and for Bible study. What some groups will do is get together with the small groups that they already have, their pre-existing small groups, and watch our Sunday morning video content while worshiping together in a home. Some people will gather for things like Bible study and worship out in their cul-de-sacs and lead it themselves, and that's great too. We'll have house church, which is really a reflection of how the early Christian church worked. They worshiped together in their homes every day. And so our phase two will be a kind of a house church model where we worship like that. Eventually, we'll work our way back towards larger worship gatherings in our campus on Valley Center. As we do that, again, we want to be very cautious and very wise and responsible. So here's some things that we should expect when that day comes. We'll initially have to practice social distancing. We won't be able to sit next to each other. We'll have to wear face masks and probably check temperatures at the door. We won't initially have kids in their classrooms. We'll all have to worship together in the larger rooms when we first get started. But we will set aside our chapel for people who are in maybe a more vulnerable place and our sanctuary for the rest of us. That's what we'll look forward to when the day comes for us to get together and worship as a larger community. In the meantime, remember two things. Remember, first of all, God has not left us alone in this season. In this season, God is doing things in our hearts that might have not otherwise happened because we are open in whole new ways right now. Cherish the fact that God is still working in our lives. Look forward to the day where we get together not just to say goodbye to all this, but to talk meaningfully about what God has done in our hearts in this season. Secondly, continue to be faithful in caring for the world around you. The ministry has not stopped. The church is not closed. There are still people in need. Your next door neighbors, your family and friends, the person at the cash register at the grocery store. Make sure you keep spreading the love of Jesus to the world around you. We're still called to ministry right now, right here today. But we wanted you to know that we are thinking towards what the future looks like. I wanted to give you kind of a brief map of what that's going to look like. So go ahead and look through the slideshow that we've posted on our website, the one that we've shown you here, and look and see what we've got planned. Send any questions you have, any thoughts you have to info@reallife.la, and one of the staff will get back to you. We want to know what you think. We want to know what you're prepared for, and we want to know that we're all in this together and looking forward to seeing one another again on Reunion Sunday. God bless you. Thanks for tuning in today.